Hey special family, welcome back to another video. I'm Autism Mom, and on this channel we talk about autism and everything in between. Today we're doing another fair use reaction video, and this young lady really needs our help as special need families. Let's take a look at the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to me talking about my autistic and intellectual disabled brother here that was sentenced in Sweden indefinitely as a criminal, where he had a meltdown in 2019 at a shopping mall, where the Swedish police were called to help him and they later on pressed charges on him, and he was judged indefinitely as a criminal, and he was sentenced to the Swedish maximum psychiatric facilities in Sweden called Our Cashapp. And by the way, those of you that don't know that place, that's a place meant for hardened criminals here in Sweden. That's the place where they put the guy that is suspected that killed the Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme. He was sentenced and put in that place. So that is a place that is meant for hardened criminals here in Sweden. So according to the Swedish system, according to the Swedish government, according to Swedish police here in Sweden, when a black autistic person has a meltdown and the Swedish police are called to help that black person, they later on press charges and they're judging that black autistic person indefinitely. The picture that you're seeing behind me, that's my brother. The picture in red, that was him before the judgment. And you can see, then this is him now that he's serving the sentence. And I remember I took this picture, I think it was in if it's not 2019, it's 2020. I cannot remember exactly, but that's around that time when I took the picture. And this is the one thing you have to understand, is that not only is he being punished not for having his disability, but my family has been banned not to see him. And the reason why my family got banned from seeing him is because this was one of the last pictures that I took with him. This picture that is with the white. And the reason why my family was banned from seeing him is because when we go and see him, we'll take pictures like this. Look at how unkempt he is. He's been over medicated. You see that this picture of the white, you see how he's going above his body weight. And I'll explain something to that a lot of people don't know. Most of the time, when they take your loved one and is sentenced to a maximum psychiatric facility, because that's how Swedish prisons work here mostly in Sweden, when they put your loved one there, they over-medicate your loved one. And the side effects of those medications is that, number one, they can develop overweight, they can get overweight, because that's one of the biggest side effects of those medications. And looking at my brother, you can see that he's a clear example of it. You look at Emmanuel before he was sentenced in the picture that is in red. You see that his normal, his body weight, that's how he's supposed to be. You look at the picture in that he's wearing the white, you see that he's above his normal weight. And if you have not followed most of his videos that I've made, because I used to call him and I used to talk to him, and most of the videos, every time I have an opportunity to talk to him, I always record the conversations. You hear him talk about how he's been medicated, and according to the Swedish doctor that is a psychiatric doctor here in Sweden, do you know what the lady is saying? That he's giving him all those medications to cure his autism. So according to a Swedish doctor in Sweden, you lock up you sentence an autistic and intellectual disabled boy for having a meltdown into a Swedish maximum psychiatric facilities, in claims that you want to cure the autism by over-medicating that boy. And let's not forget that over-medication too, like with his weight, like the weight he's having right now, let's not forget that this also can lead to diabetes, because my mom's side of the family, they have this lineage of diabetes that is very common there. Yes, so imagine what's going to happen. Not only that he's overweight, but he can also develop diabetes.
Okay, so on TikTok you only have 3 minutes to make a video. That's why she's talking that fast. But it boils down to, that's her brother Emmanuel that you see on the screen. He has autism. He had a meltdown in a building. The police were called. And you know, when our kids have a meltdown, it can get severe. That's why I say, in case of emergency, try to call EMS instead of the police. And if you do call the police, ask them to bring EMS to assist. Because in Sweden, nobody talks about how autistic people are dealt with, and she came forward to let people bring awareness, to let people know what is happening to autistic kids over there, especially black ones, that they're being detained into a high maximum facility for a psychiatric ward and overly medicated. As most of you know that have been following me from the beginning, that my son is also on medication, and he's also gained about 80 pounds in 6 months due to the medication, which is not even getting the full dose. So I can clearly see the difference by looking at the picture. That's a huge weight gain. So she's bringing awareness because they are not allowed to see her brother either. They haven't seen him, I think it's over a year, probably 2. and they have no access to him. So now she's going the social media route to bring awareness what's happening to autistic people there. They're putting them in these high maximum facility psychiatric wards, over medicating them with the goal to cure their autism, as if that's possible. But there's more. Let me show you the next video.
Hey guys, welcome back to me talking about my autistic and intellectual disabled brother here that was sentenced indefinitely as a criminal here in 2019, where he had a meltdown in a Swedish shopping mall and the Swedish police were called to help him let down press charges, and he was sentenced indefinitely as a criminal in March 2019. So the reason why I'm putting these two pictures of Greta Thunberg, because a lot of you might not know her, but she's very popular, of Greta Thunberg and my brother, is this. Greta Thunberg, she's a Swedish autistic girl in Sweden that she has a passion for fighting for climate change. And we have seen how the Swedish government has encouraged her with her passion, how she's getting a lot of support. My autistic brother, on the other hand, he has his autism and intellectual disability. He has a compulsive behavior where sometimes he can get stuck in a place. So the incident that led to him being judged indefinitely as a criminal here in Sweden happened in 2019. He got stuck in a shopping mall. The Swedish police were called to help him to get out of the shopping mall because the shopping mall wanted to close. The police arrived there. He eventually left the shopping mall. Then the next week, we got a letter from the Swedish police. Let me specify the police station. That's the Holdinge police station here in Stockholm. The Holdinge police station here in Stockholm, we got a letter from them saying that their police officers are pressing charges that my autistic and intellectual disabled brother fought and resisted them. Okay, we go to the court in Sweden because the Stockholm's court here in Stockholm picks up the case and handles the case. We go to the court, which I literally attended all the hearings because they made the thing that they dramatized the entire situation. After the hearing, we got a decision from the Stockholm's court. The decision from the Stockholm's court states that he has been judged indefinitely as a criminal. So let's start from the beginning. What is an indefinite judgment? An indefinite judgment is a life sentence. So according to the Swedish Stockholm's court, according to the Swedish police, according to the Swedish system, black autistic people should be labeled as criminals and be punished indefinitely, because an indefinite judgment is a life sentence. That means for the rest of his life, he's going to be punished for having his disability. And then a Swedish autistic person like Greta Thunberg should be promoted, because every autistic person has a passion. They have something that they're good at. My brother likes carving, he likes drawing, but he's not allowed to do that because he has been judged as a criminal and he's serving his life sentence. Greta Thunberg, on the other hand, she has been given the opportunity to go out there and showcase her talent as somebody that loves climate change. And that's the reason why I'm making this thing, because Sweden is not even different from what happened 8 years ago in the Nazi Germany, where a Jewish girl has a passion to play Olympics, but she's not given the opportunity to play the Olympics because she's Jewish, and then a German girl is given an opportunity. Today again, we see it happening. Greta Thunberg, being a Swedish girl that has autism, she has been given her opportunity to live her life as an autistic person. And my autistic and intellectual disabled brother, he has been judged indefinitely as a criminal. He's not allowed to see his family. For the past 3 years, my family has not laid eyes on my brother because they don't want us to record how he's been abused. Yes, so he's been banned not to see us. We are not allowed to see him, and he's been punished for having his disability. He has a life sentence for having a disability. And you tell me that Europeans have changed. You tell me that the Westerners are sorry for what they did 80 years ago. Because if you're sorry for something, why are you rewriting that history that you're sorry for Europeans?
So the brother Emmanuel, who is held in this maximum facility psychiatric ward, has been charged indefinitely because he had a meltdown in a shopping mall because he got stuck. And then the police took charge and it kind of got out of hand, because as we all know, when your child with autism has a meltdown, they don't like to be touched by any random person. They don't like to be touched, period. So she's making the difference between a white autistic person who can go around and live their life freely as an autistic person and a black one. And it's almost like she gets to live freely, but he has to go in a maximum psych facility indefinitely. And most of the time, she's explaining that indefinitely means it's a life sentence. And to make matters worse, they haven't seen their autistic child or autistic brother for 3 years. So he's been in that facility for 3 years. And the stuff you see on his face, yes, I'm pretty sure you've noticed it. They drew a clown on his face. Yeah, that's what I read. Allegedly, I don't know. That's what I read. They drew a clown on his face. That's that stuff on his face. But how is that fair? He has autism. Meltdowns are part of autism. If they get overstimulated, they'll have meltdowns. Did he have a quarrel with the police because he got stuck in the mall and he panicked? Yes. But his diagnosis should have cleared that up. But they decided to file charges and put him in a maximum secure psychiatric ward. So the question is, How can we help this young lady? Let's take a look at the next video.
Hey guys, welcome back to me talking about my autistic and intellectual disabled brother that was sentenced indefinitely in Sweden as a criminal, where he had a meltdown and the Swedish police were called to help him, and they later on pressed charges on him, and he was sentenced indefinitely by the Södertörns court in Stockholm as a criminal. So guys, I decided to start documenting my brother after he was sentenced indefinitely as a criminal. And to those of you that are very interested, you want to learn more about his story, or you want to know exactly what happened, you can go to his Facebook page, his Instagram account, his TikTok. All is named My Autism Journey in Sweden. You can see it on the headings here, My Autism Journey in Sweden. So guys, this is his petition that my family created on change.com. There you can see it. And the reason why I decided to start documenting his story is because I have lived here in Sweden for the past 10 years, and I've seen this happen to a lot of people, and a lot of people are so scared because there's a stigma. Normally, one of the biggest stigma the Swedish government puts on a lot of black people to scare them from talking about being abused in Sweden is that they label them as criminals. And we all know the stigma that is out there, that every black person is a criminal when it comes to white people, especially white races. According to white races, when they abuse a black person and they want to speak up, automatically the black man now is a criminal. And so I decided to document my brother because I wanted to remove that stigma that Sweden has created here in Sweden. There are a lot of black people here in Sweden, a lot of disabled people here in Sweden that have been locked up in institutions in Sweden, and they're labeled as criminals. You cannot take somebody's disability and then use it against the person and then turn around and call the person a criminal. But that's what a lot of black people are facing here in Sweden. A lot of black people, their loved ones are locked up in institutions in Sweden. My brother, for the past 3 years now, we are not allowed to see him. And you know why we are not allowed to see him? If you look at this picture that is on his change.com page, this is a picture that we took when we went to visit him in the Swedish maximum psychiatric facility that he's locked up called Cashapp. Look at how unkempt he is. Look at how they keep him. They make him look very unkempt. They make him look very shabby. So they don't only take your loved one away from you, they lock in an institution, they deprive your loved one from socializing with anybody or with his family. Then they keep your loved one very, very, very unkempt. And they want you to believe that that is the help that they're giving, because according to Swedish government, if you want to help a black disabled person, lock them up in an institution, deprive them from their loved ones, deprive them from socializing with the rest of the world. That's why I made it a mission to document my brother, because I wanted to take the whole world into this journey. Because when you look at how the UN is painting Sweden, the UN is painting Sweden as this humanitarian country, as this lovely country, as this beautiful country that has so much respect for human beings. You cannot have respect for people and then you use their disability that they did not choose to have against them. And the bad thing about it that a lot of people don't know is that most of the time the Western regime doesn't want to talk about it, and we all know why, because Sweden is a Western country. And by now we should have known that Western countries, Western society don't talk bad against what is happening or the abuse that goes on in the Western society. And that is why I decided to document my brother, and I created this petition on change.com to share his story. And for those of you that are very interested in his story, you can go to his social media platforms. All the videos there, you can watch them, you can listen to them, all of them are there. And I'm still documenting the story, and I'm still going to document it till when he gets released, because I want to take everybody.
So it comes down to they are using his disability against him to lock him up in this mental institution. If you would like to help this family out or this sister, his platform his social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, are all My Autism Journey in Sweden. And you could type that in and you could find it. They have a petition on change.org to sign the petition to have him released, because he did not commit a criminal offense. He's just autistic and it's being used against him. So if you would like to sign that petition, please go to one of his pages, and I'll put a link in the comment section below to make it easier for you. Let's head on over to the comment section and see what the commenters had to say. First commenter says, I can't find the petition on the Change website. And the creator responded, if you just Google the name of the petition on the screen, it should be the first thing that comes up. So the name she's referring to is My Autism Journey in Sweden. But I'll put a link in the comment section below. The next commenter says, this should also be Twitter. Bloggers should be aware of this. Celebrities should have a say at this, because if it goes silent, it will go on and on. That is correct. Next commenter says, this is even beyond what I can comprehend. Like, in what world is this allowed to happen? Who are the judges? Who passed this law? This is madness. It's really madness that you can use someone's disability against them and then imprison them technically, and not have him see his family in 3 years because they're documenting what you guys are doing to him. That's just cruel. Next commenter says, I still can't believe what I'm feeling about this story. How can any sane person allow this? Well, they allowed it. Next commenter says, we stand with your family. Free Emmanuel. He needs to be with his family. I agree. Next commenter says, if you see this, repost it and tell others to interact. Definitely repost this and please tell others to sign the petition. Next commenter says, justice for Emmanuel. Next person says, did he have a lawyer? You never said. Yeah, I didn't hear that either. What grounds did they have that he should get locked up forever? I'm kind of curious about that too. Have you appealed higher court with a lawyer? Yeah, she never got around to that, so I can't answer these questions, but she did not answer them either. Next commenter says, has Greta ever considered lending her prominence and platform to advocating for ND Kin's humanity and dignity? Greta is the white autistic girl that they're promoting to, she likes to deal with the clean environment and stuff, and she's very heavily promoted. So this person is asking if they can ask Greta to promote that autistic people shouldn't be locked up because of their disability. That's a good question. Next commenter says, you don't do that with people who have autism. Are they stupid? I'm so mad. Why destroy him and not help him? Well, like the sister said, they're trying to cure it in that way. The manner that they're doing it, that's called cure. If you would like to follow this creator, this is her TikTok page and handle on Facebook and on Instagram. So go ahead and give her a follow to be updated, and I'll catch you in the next video. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think about this video, because this is very, very disturbing. I'm making this video to put it out there so we can spread the word and help Emmanuel out, because this is not right to use his autism against him and that therefore imprison him into a maximum high facility psychiatric ward where he can't even see his family for the past 3 years. That's ridiculous. So spread the word. Go over to their TikTok page or Instagram or Facebook, sign the petition, and let's help out a fellow special need family member. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.